Today we're going to show you how to install the circuitry into the enclosure to build a map enhancer. Map enhancer. So what you do first to start with, you mark the layout. We have one already built as a pattern. You mark the layout for the drill so it doesn't slide with a hot soldering iron. Just like this. You can see it. Very simple. Just put it right in there. That'll make the spot for where you're going to put the drill. So we're going to show you how that's done. Here's a simple way to figure out what drill bits you're going to need to fit these stems. So you'll have one of the switches and one of the potentiometers. There's the stem. You take your drill bit index. There you go. And you take the drill bits out to the area where you think it goes and fit it into the hole. Once you get it into the hole, this is 9/30 seconds. You know what drill bit to therefore use. So now that we know what drill bit to use, we're going to go ahead and drill this right where we marked it. Now that we've drilled the holes, we'll clean out the little shavings here. Sometimes you might need to use a little reamer to clean them. This will make the switches go in easier. Now we see the orientation of the wires here. So while we do this, you could either drill a hole here, use a soldering iron, or melt it. We like to do it the quick way here. We use a pneumatic slicing wheel. You just basically put a little slice in. Once you've sliced this, you just take a little pair of dikes or a pair of pliers and just break it right out of there. That's going to be where your wires exit to hook up into the circuitry of the vehicle. Now, we're going to have to put this into the enclosure. We see the orientation here. This is the highway city, CH. This is on, off. To take it out of the circuit, put it back to factory. So we see the orientation here. Our switches are likewise like that. We have it oriented right. So we're going to go ahead and fit this into the enclosure. So we're going to put that into the holes. We've already had our pattern set when we put this together to match the enclosure, how it's going to fit into here. So we're going to put this inside the enclosure, then put the nuts on it. So what we've done already, we've already put the nuts on here and secured them. You don't need to over tighten them because you could break them, and keep the orientation of the switches correct so that when the knobs are off, they're all looking equally there. See, off. So we have that in there. One little note that you have to keep in mind on these potentiometers. I don't know if you can see this right here. Some of them have tangs on them. That little tang will prevent it from coming flush. You just break those off with a pair of dikes. They snap right off. There you go. That way when you put it into the enclosure, it's flush. So that's on many of the potentiometers have that. Now we're going to install the little knobs that go onto the potentiometers. There's a flat spot on the stem. So you'll just orient the locking screw right there in line with the flat spot. Take a little screwdriver and you fit it into there. So now this is what it looks like after you get the knobs on, when they're all the way off to the left counterclockwise. That's what they look like. You want to make sure that inside the enclosure everything has a good clearance, particularly of these wires for the resistor, that they don't touch any of the other lugs in the circuitry to short out, because we're going to have to attach some wires to certain spots in here to come out to hook up into the vehicle's electrical system for this circuit. Now this is what the enclosure is going to look like after the wires are put into the rest of the circuitry here. We have it soldered in. We're passing through the hole that we cut out earlier. We put a tie strap right here, a small one, with some super glue on it, so that when these are pulled, doesn't move any of the wires in here, possibly breaking them off or shorting them out. Make sure the clearance, once again, for these resistor wires, don't touch anything else inside the enclosure. Okay, that's very important, or the circuit won't work properly. It could short out something. So once you have that all put in there, you put this backing cover on here. These are very small enclosures. You can use larger ones. And then all you have to do is just put the screws into the back and just tighten them up. And there you have it. You have your map enhancer. And what you do is you just take a little paint pen, or labels if you like. I find paint pens work fine. And you can mark it C for this is for city, H here for highway. You have an X for off, and just put a little O right there for on. And there you have it. You can install it into the vehicle, and you have your map enhancer. Thank you for watching this video. Please rate it also. We appreciate any comments.